we'll soon find out if warm weather affects the attendance, because the numbers are cosy to start with. We've already got a hello from Rodeer to me and everyone now and on replay. I like that. You're covering all the bases there. Thank you very much for joining. This is often, because I choose Mondays, it often appears or ends up being on a Monday bank holiday. That is the way of things. Normally August and May and possibly Christmas. So there we go. But this is the Phil Swallow Show, episode number 194. It is 25th of May 2026. I've got an itchy nose. That does nothing for either audio or visual followers. Welcome very much to this evening's show. Hi, Graham. And Sheila, you're on a train from Sligo to Dublin. And I have to ask, what's the weather like in the Republic of Ireland? And also, have you got aircon on the train should you need it? I've looked at some of the weather maps. It's very much a kind of European thing. We're caught up in the middle of it. And I believe it's going around the edges of Europe, eastern side of Europe. It's not too bad. Why aren't I in Leipzig? I'm going to add that to the broadcast. It's because I'm going tomorrow. I'm travelling tomorrow to Leipzig. That is one of the agenda items. It's funny watching on social media, people have set off now. I know someone who set off yesterday, but they already had a kind of bit of a road trip planned in Europe. They're doing quite regularly. So they were going to go to Amsterdam yesterday from Calais after the crossing and then drive over towards Leipzig. I think they're taking in Poland and some other places. So yeah, hot from the heart of Croydon. And it's a hot 26 that's not hot. We're in the 30s. This room, I could be posh and say where I broadcast from. This editing suite and broadcast centre, my tongue is firmly in cheek here, that I host these shows from. I've been in here all day today, on and off, but I've had an aircon unit running all day. And I set the temperature for 22. And when it gets to the temperature, it's meant to flick to fan. The compressor switches off. It never got there. The room temperature's been 25, 26 all day long. And I did a little test earlier to see whether, or to hear whether if I left it on, it would be intrusive. I have to say it would be intrusive to me, but when I was talking into the mic, it wasn't too bad. But I thought I won't. I'll leave that. There's a ceiling fan above me going. It's on the medium speed, and hopefully it's not going to cause too many problems. It might be in a white noise territory. You never know. So right, what we got? Friends have gone today. Flights and hotels too expensive near a match day. I booked my hotel last August. But it still wasn't cheap. I mean, it's a nice hotel. The idea was originally Sue and I were going to go there and spend, a couple of nights there, assuming Palace had got through, which obviously they did. But the hotel is in the centre of town. It's aircon and it's got very good reviews. So I think it's going to be comfortable for the handful of hours that I spend in there. It's just basically a bed for the night. But I still wanted to know I had the hotel. Charter flight tomorrow. It's 5:30 evening flight, but I'm going to travel with Sue. We're going to share a cab to East Croydon tomorrow. She's got to go to London, so we're going in different directions. And then get there on good time, get the flight. It's only a fairly short flight, almost a hop. And then get there in the evening and suss it all out. There's a huge fan zone. I joined their WhatsApp group. UEFA set up everything, really well organised. And there's a WhatsApp channel, I think. Do they call it a channel? It probably is, a broadcast channel. And they've got this whole kind of area set aside with all the stage and music and noise and food and drink. So hopefully with all the various people that I know from sort of friends and ex-work colleagues and all that sort of stuff, we can all meet up at some point over the next couple of days. Evening, Philip. Tomorrow's the last of the heat wave at 34. Yeah, doesn't it go... The weather goes down and then comes back up again. I'm just going to have a look at this. So, right, we have live weather forecasting. I I don't want that. Right, here we go. So we got 32 today's high, 31 tomorrow, 25 Wednesday, then 28, 25, 26, 24, 22, 16 next Tuesday. And Leipzig, today 25, tomorrow 28, Wednesday 23, then 21, 27, blah, blah, blah. So Leipzig is a few degrees cooler. I'm not complaining about that. I've got all my... The great thing is, you don't really need to think too much about what to bring and to wear. It's going to be warmish, so it's going to be shorts, even with my legs. I've got last season's shirt that I'll probably travel in, and I've got this season's shirt that I'll probably spend the whole of Wednesday in, and then hopefully I've got damn good reason to still wear a shirt coming home on Thursday, if everything lines up well. So... what have we got here? We got some good luck Palace, but come on you Spurs. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot that. Yes, come on you Spurs. Spurs managed to do what they probably should have done long before then. Very weird end to the season. While Spurs were being safe, Palace were hosting the Arsenal championship party. Arsenal have never been relegated, I think, in their history. So we got 9 watching, 3 likes. Please hit the like. Yes, please. Thumbs up and all that. Fred Pontin. Oh no. 3-hour train journey from Munich airport. Yeah, I mean, because there's no flights direct from London to Leipzig, it was a bit weird, isn't it? You think now you could go here, there, and everywhere from anywhere. Certainly from London. I read that Leipzig is mostly well known as a hub from going then to holiday destinations abroad. So you'll go from there to Parma and Greece and all those sort of places. So that's what it's known for. Martin, good evening. It is hot, especially overnight. Reminds you of Malaysia. We have ceiling fans in every room, well, the bedrooms and downstairs, and we have 2 aircon units. So the nighttime routine is running the aircon unit for 2 or 3 hours beforehand, when it's kind of getting cooler outside, and then the ceiling fan pretty much does the job. I've actually slept better in the heat than I have prior to that. I don't know why. Maybe because you just feel zonked out. Hi Jeff, yeah, Mum's not too bad. We did some things where her medication was changed. She was hallucinating a lot, and I'll just go briefly into Mum won't mind, into the medical side of things. Her kidney function is very, very, very poor, and they won't really do anything about it. And the doctor said because her kidney function is poor, the fact that she had these Butec pain patches meant that that's probably the morphine in those was causing the hallucinations. So he said just take the patches off for a while. So we've done that, and hopefully we're seeing a little bit more perkiness. She did seem last 3 or 4 visits now, and I visit quite regularly. She seemed a little bit more, up with it sort of thing. But yeah, thank you very much for asking, Jeff, and I will pass that on. Hello, David. Yeah, good to see some good contributions on here. I'm always pleased to host this. I think it's a good bit of fun. My very rough agenda, as you know, it's always very rough. But the first item was, have we ever had such intense heat in May? I don't think we have. They said May 44 was the last hottest May day. Because obviously that was not long before D-Day, so they're probably doing all the D-Day mobilisation and prep round about then. So yes, I don't recall it this hot. They did say it was the sort of weather we'd get in July and August in one of those really hot years. I mean, we needed something to happen because it was pretty poor up till then. Not that we had the heating on. So yeah, so that was that. I don't know if any of you managed to attend, if you are anywhere near Sanderstead based, but on the 14th, a couple of weeks back now, a week and a half ago, I gave the post AGM talk to the Sanderstead Residents Association. It's their centenary year, and I've been working on this for 8 months, not solid, but obviously working on it quite a lot, and it was great. Really went down well. There were all sorts of people there. the MP came in, but he didn't stay for my talk. None taken. Well, he's known for just turning up just before he needs to go and do his bit, and then disappearing afterwards. Chris Philp. But the Croydon mayor and other such people were there, and yes, had good audience, very good fun. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Had some wonderful feedback. You put a load into these things, and you always hope to get good comments, and you hope that you might get to do the talk again because of the amount of time that you've invested into it. And I met up with the chair, Heather, from the group last week. We were visiting a lovely Edwardian house in the area, going over house history stuff. She said people have stopped her in the street to say how great they think it was. So that's just amazing. Really pleased. I should make sure that I get some review comments perhaps to put on my website. So what else have we got in the comments? I like getting the comments, always good. I like the comments on the videos, and I like getting the comments here. It's this sort of interaction thing. Jeff remembers doing tarmac on the hottest day of the year. That wasn't fun, I can only imagine. It's a blue moon next Sunday. That's not a reference to Man City, is it? No. Where's your mum? Home or at a home? Looking for good suggestions. She's still at home. We went through this. I think there's a kind of intent, I suppose, from the local authority, where possible, to stay at home. 4 visits a day, 2 carers each visit, because mum's got no mobility, and it works okay. You know, I mean, it works pretty well, really. She's in her own home. Got a picture of my dear old dad on the wall, but you know, it's quite a nice arrangement. It's not cheap, but it's cheaper than, I mean, round figures, it's probably what we'd pay a week, we're paying a month. I know it's not a precise science, but that's very roughly looking on the numbers. So yeah, it's but she's still at home at the moment. I think that'll probably be how it will be. Or this Sunday, the 31st of May. Is this the blue moon? Is possibly 31st of May. Okay. Jason Perry never misses a photo op. Yeah, I mean, he came up to me afterwards and said he enjoyed it and thanked me, which is great. Even though I did some in my talk, because it's going over 100 years, there are the odd references to mayors of the day, and I was conscious that he's right in the front row looking at me, but it was banter at best. I love that. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for that. Passing on your wishes. I do tell Mum that I talk about her in these things, and obviously Jeff knows Mum from years ago, but you know, it's just something that it's in my things that I do. Yeah, so the great thing for me is now, as much as I thoroughly enjoyed that talk, and in June I've got 3 talks, 1 week after the other kind of thing, I'm now getting back to what I want to be doing mostly, which is the video stuff. I do quite a bit of intense research into those things sometimes, some more than others. I filmed a video, shall I tell you? Yeah, I'll tell you. I filmed it in Upper Shirley, because it's one of these, I haven't got the paper, but it's one of these local heritage areas, and I found some really interesting stuff about the area. So it's a walk and talk, Upper Shirley. All being well, it's going to go live in the next day or so, because I'm travelling tomorrow lunchtime. I'm almost halfway through the captions, the subtitles that I do for every video, apart from these. So the captions are being done. I'll finish that off after this session tonight. Do the thumbnail, do the words, get it ready. Members see it first, and then I'll probably flick the switch over to public tomorrow afternoon, maybe when I'm in the plane or something. So keep an eye out for that one. Lovely day, lovely weather, just before this really intense heat came in. First with my brand new microphone, and I've got the new camera on order that's meant to be delivered this week, but I need some attachments to go with the camera to make it how I have my workflow, and they haven't told me when they're going to release, or told anyone when they're going to release these. So it's a new GoPro. So I hope you notice that will be an improvement to the audio, and the visuals hopefully when I get the new camera, because it's a bit of a grade above what's out there now. I did a little short on 275 Addiscombe Road because one of you lovely people commented about the original video, saying that they thought there was some demolition work due there. Now, we kind of knew this was coming, because even though they've not approved planning, or even though they've not made planning approval for what's going to be there, annoyingly, like with Swiss Lodge at Shirley Church Road, they still agree that you can demolish what is there now. And someone put a comment into this very short, it's 35 seconds or something, but it was a bit of an update because yes, they've cleared all the grounds there. I mean, the grass, and there's no kind of climbers on the house. The grass / weeds in the grounds, gardens are just gone, flattened. There was a guy in the garden taking a bit of a break and then just picking up some bits and moving them around. I think the next thing we're going to see there will be the hoardings with the usual health and safety notices, and then sadly the bulldozers will come in and flatten it. Very, very sad. And also someone posted, I think their YouTube handle was something architecture related. And I think I'd seen this at the time, but I'd kind of forgotten. But the voting was 4 in favour and 6 abstentions. Why abstain? Anyway, not very good. Not very happy. So 275 Addiscombe Road, just did a little bit of a visual, just so that you can see what's going on there for those who aren't in the area. Yeah, gets me every time. Swiss Lodge and all that. We got the good story on Selsdon Park, which is that there is activity there now. They have completed the purchase, BH Group. I mentioned it at the last video. So the boards are up on the main entrance there, on Addington Road. There's activity going on in there which is going to take at least a year, probably a year to a year and a quarter, where they're going to do window replacement, new heating system, all manner of things are going to go on in there, paddle courts, all sorts, and then that will be the new Selsdon Park opening up sometime in 2027, but they want it to be used almost how we used to use it. If you're going to use the sports or the swimming pool or have a meal at the restaurant, or obviously a stay in the hotel, it will be a hotel. It won't be some weird membership model thing that they used to have under Birch. Right, so what do we got here? We've got a few catch-ups. Brilliant, thank you for that. Best wishes. Tardiness from Andy McGarty. Don't worry, mate. It's a bank holiday, so hope you're well. What on earth are you going to do with yourself until the football starts again? Videos and talks. I want to do more. I wish I could do more, but it's going to happen. Graham, we might need another chat with our diaries to come along and get some of those out there, but I feel ready to go. And of course, if I've got new gear, then I'm going to be even more incentivized to get out there. So Upper Shirley, great choice, thank you very much, Martin. Yes, I'll tell you what, the in advance of what you're going to see in the next day or so, it's incredible how much is there that you wouldn't perhaps know was there unless you did the research. Just go whiz by on a 466 or a 130 or my Carter football. But my videos are about hopefully unlocking and telling the story behind what was there, and also making you think perhaps differently about a place that you might think That's kind of in my thing. Merlin's cat, apologies for being late. Don't worry, no apologies here. And we got an update on the stats from Rodeer. Thank you. Yeah, numbers are getting up there. Yeah, and the Birch info signs and the hoardings at the stable area, I've not seen round there. On the stable, I think you must mean Farley Road or Old Farley Road. Yeah, they've still got this, like the RAC type sign saying Birch to the right. Yeah, get rid of that. Maybe I got there with Miss Spanner. I remember when your mum showed me your brother's bedroom with the first ever quilt I've seen. Posh family of Hamsey Green. Love it. Oh, well, I think in our generation it was the changeover, the evolution of bed sheets, often the bristly ones, Brillo pad ones, to the continental quilt. Do you remember that? A duvet. It was a continental quilt before it was anything else. And I won't have anyone say anything to the contrary. Any chance of more meetups? Yes. And as the pub says, it's a surprise. So I put, and thank you so much, everybody, for your votes on the little poll. The yes, no, and maybe to the railway walk in South Croydon. I felt that I needed to do a bit more of what I do first to get back in the room almost. So the video coming out will be followed by something else I'm going to talk about in a minute. But in the background, I'll be sending out a mailer, or a link. You'll see it on the post. And it will go out to everyone who's already on my kind of, I call it a subscriptions list. So anyone who's signed up to be interested in walks will get the email notification, and I'll put the web page address into the post, the community post, so that you can follow the link. So there'll be a sign up to say, yes, I'm interested in going on the South Croydon walk. And this is, in terms of video history, it's the one that I did fairly recently with Graham in the sort of winter time or autumn last year. Time flies. So it's looking at two main things, and they're all quite close together. So it's going to be the South Croydon railway related sites, so things that aren't there anymore, Spencer Road Halt, the Selsdon Station, those kind of areas, so you can have a nice little walk around those. I guess the advantage of when we went there in the winter is probably more visible, and now it might be a little bit overgrown, but you'll still get the kind of idea there. So we'll go to those. They're all really accessible, footpaths, pavements, all that sort of stuff. But all around there we can take in and enjoy the wonderful Victorian architecture, predominantly Victorian, some perhaps Edwardian, but all of that in that area. My only thought is just how to contain it in some ways. Graham had a good suggestion that we park up in the car park for Coombe Lodge and start the walk up there, because there's actually some history in that general area. Then we walk past Lloyd Park and then kind of into that main area after that, and then we can head back for either just pick up the car, or we'll have a nice cup of coffee, free refills at Wetherspoons. So that's something we can consider. So yeah, I will, once Leipzig's done, and I get back and my feet back under the table in my editing suite, I will get the email mailer and the website sign up details together, and then we can get on our way. That'd be really good. Yes, stables on top of Old Folly Road, thank you. Cosy Cottage still for sale at 775, no takers. I know what you mean. When you look at that from the outside, you think great location, and it has got terrific history. It's on all the old postcards of the area. It was a lodge for the estate, but I don't know, it's one bedroom, I think, isn't it? It's got a lot of space, but I think it's a one bedroom property for 775. I mean, you'd expect to pay that in some of the trendier parts of London, perhaps, or even less trendy parts of London. So yeah, 775, and I think it's almost too modernised. When I see some of these lovely houses, and if you see them on a spec, sometimes you go inside and they've almost made the whole thing open plan. Not for me. I like to keep that separation of rooms and zones and things, but yeah, it's been on the list for a long time, I think, Cosy Cottage. I'm almost tempted to say it doesn't look cosy as such when you actually see inside. Perhaps people are... a lot of money's been invested in there, don't get me wrong, but not convinced it's... Anyway, my opinion. We've all got opinions. Railway Walk, that'll bring back memories. Excellent. Selsdon Road Station, now Birch End, the last lamp station. Yes, indeed. See what says underground, some old pics of it on the internet. Yeah, these things, because there's such a huge railway enthusiast community, many people have made the videos and all that kind of stuff, but Having done the first walk in April, which I was really pleased with that. It was kind of just how I visualised it. So I'm kind of fired up to say, well, yeah, this is a nice supplementary thing we can do. You've seen the film, and now you can, live the experience. But it's all good. I wouldn't want to do it in the intense heat though. We had lovely weather for the Croydon one, but well, it'll be the usual, hydration and all that good stuff. So yes, I've talked about my editing imminent release. So Leipzig tomorrow. Ramsey, I don't think, is on today, and he may have said that he couldn't make it. He said that maybe I should do a video of my trip, and I'm going to. I did a brief video set to music on the cup final because I never did kind of vlog it, but I thought, I know it's a bit different. It's a history of a different sort. So I hope you go along with it, and basically I'm going to take you with me to Leipzig. So it'll be a bit more like a kind of, well, it'll still be vloggy diary type thing, but yes, I'm going to do a little video for that just on my phone, not taking any gear. It'll all be just on the iPhone, so that'd be good fun. Next video with new camera, hopefully. I've talked about the walk, South Croydon Railways and Houses, and I've talked about almost everything I was going to cover on my agenda, which is amazing. Yeah, I think I indicated in, I'm not even going to mention the video now because you probably know what it is, but I mentioned I was going to go and film it recently, and then that didn't happen. I'm not going to mention it anymore, but one day I'm just going to go out and film it, the one that must not be mentioned, in Croydon. My list is ridiculous. I'm gradually ticking things off. The one I get chased on a few, actually, nicely. The Elmer's End area to explore over there, and Beckenham Cemetery and those kind of things. There's some good history there. I get chased a little bit about the Addiscombe East India properties and that kind of thing, which I think is also one of those scheduled areas that Croydon Council have done some work on. And the other one, which I am really looking forward to doing, I don't think it'll be a long video, but it's the Art Deco of Coney Hall. I've kind of done some prepping on that, and they've got a Residents Association website with some lovely old information on there, so that's going to feature Coney Hall. That might be the end of my line in terms of going out towards the London Borough, Bromley and Kent area. Don't really have any designs on going into Bromley. I think there's a lot more that I want to do here before I do that. I've been talking to Richard about doing the Passiti ice cream area, which covers Windmill Road and Bangole area and the cemetery, and there's just some nice little pockets of history, some stories within his Passiti ice cream story, so we got that to sort out. That'll just be me and Richard sort of wandering and chatting and talking about the area, and having been to Richard's talk a couple of times, it's quite amazing, his story, so we're looking to bring that out. Didn't know about the railway walk. You're in. Thank you, Julie. So I think I'll put something out about that, probably about a week's time, something like that. There's no bank holidays or anything else coming up. It didn't feel like a bank holiday today. I know that might be a bit of a retirement thing, but I was convinced it was just a normal Monday today. Or maybe the heat's getting to me. Have I heard the latest news on the Leslie Arms pub? Yeah, Inside Croydon did a story, didn't they, that there's an auction, and I think they're looking for 1.4 million. And they kept trying. I didn't realise the backstory to it, but that they kept trying to do things in the past whereby it would have gone against the listing terms and conditions. It's a beautiful site, and obviously, Martin, you told me about when they took the hoardings down, and because it had been kind of covered up for such a long time. I hope someone with some proper vision can can get that over the line and get it sort of looked after and respected. It needs it. It needs the effort. Beckenham Crematorium, the grave of. I think we talked about this before. I don't know too much about that on the detail yet about Frank Bourne, but yeah, it's I need to do a lot more on the Beckenham Crematorium, so that one's likely to be later rather than sooner. I'm actually going to just have a little cast my eye down my, if I can open it. File. No, I can't actually open my notes here. Let me try again. Get my list of what I need to be working on, filming plan. I mean, I what I do with my list is to just throw stuff in there. It doesn't always, after time and after consideration, doesn't always necessarily lend itself to be a proper kind of video, but then sometimes other things come out of the woodwork, so you think, oh yeah, maybe I could cover that. Yeah, so Ashburton Park building, I mean, that could be probably a short. There's a dig, I think, going on this week. That'd be fun in this weather. Archaeological dig in Ashburton Park, because they're doing a lot of work there. We went to a thing a couple of months back, and yeah, I think you can volunteer and go along and get your trowel out and dig. And you never know, you might find something, but it's good to see. They're involving the community, and they've got a whole kind of research group I think they put together. I personally didn't sign up for it because I haven't got any bandwidth, but yeah, too hot to go out today. I had to go and drop something over at Mum's, and it was like, when is it best to do it? I kind of nipped out late afternoon, so it was still pretty intense heat, but thankfully, having a fairly modern car, you can sort of put the air conditioning on remotely, and just kind of, so when you get in the car it's all nice and cool. So I just, while I was visiting Mum, I just left the car aircon on the whole time, and then it was lovely to get back into. 5 more needed. Yes, keep. If you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, please hit the thumbs up. I don't think it'll let me. I mean, I'd give it a go. Do a fake game the numbers, is it? Yeah, so it's I suppose in summary it's like getting back on track. The walks, so summertime walk in South Croydon, and then it's going to be about where I might want to do a follow-up one. So if I can get 2 in the summer, that would be good. So let's say the South Croydon one happens in June, and then maybe July, August. I know some people might be away, but it'll still be in the general area. I'm not really looking to go into central Croydon, but I might do something around Sanderstead, only because I've learned so much about it. But there's some nice, in the sort of upper part of Sanderstead, there's loads of things that you can pick off without really travelling too far. I mean, we could wander down the first part of the hill just to see where Ruth Ellis lived, and there's another few things just off, all as a kind of start, if you like, off the roundabout. Sanderstead Court, of course, some references there. So yeah, maybe Sanderstead might be something to consider later on in the summer. Remote aircon. Yeah, it's good. It is a good feature, and I've got an electric car, EV, and it doesn't seem to do too much on the range, so I do it. Martin, there is also a campaign to save or reopen the Kennedy Hotel. Yes, I saw that. A nice video made by Ian Anson. I've not seen the video, so I'll have to have a look at that. I heard about it, but I've not actually personally seen it. So the Kennedy Hotel down on the bottom there on the Godstone Road, is it, when you say save or reopen, so it's actually closed, is it now? Kennedy Hotel? I remember going and seeing a couple of musicians playing there in the 80s. And I think that used to be a regular little thing, just like duos and things. Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to make these things work nowadays. There is activity in the Sanderstead what was Sanderstead Library, now called the Story Sanctuary. I know they're quite active. I've not been to any events there, but I had to do a couple of photos there for my talk, mainly about the actual original library building. So, it's, I don't know, we keep hearing about these places closing, don't we? I did see a lot of building activity on the, is it Milk and Moor place on Brighton Road? That's just down in Purley, between the Royal Oak Centre and Purley Centre on the left. And I believe that's where Marks and Spencer's are going to come in and do a food place. And there's going to be some community, remote working hub type thingies. And they're going to retain the original kind of nice architecture, which is good. Closed since last summer. Oh, wow. I did not realise that. Legal issues. Yeah, it's a great shame. I mean, people don't really seem to go to the local anymore. Not in our neck of the woods. Probably happens way more in more rural areas, I guess, and maybe at the coast. Andy, what are pubs like in the West Country? And Merlin's Cat, are you West Country as well? Yeah, is there still a pub community? I don't know. But I think round here, suburban, and again, it's probably is the suburban area where it might be hit hardest. In central London, there's probably still more focus, tourist trade, all that kind of stuff, day trippers and the like. So, yes, right. So, I'm surprised that the room has stayed pretty cool. Maybe I put so much cold air in here. It says it's 27.1 where I am now. Because as well as having remote aircon, I've got a posh clock on the wall with all the information on it. But yeah, 27.1. I do like gadgets, mind. So it stayed reasonably good. But I might put the aircon on again afterwards. Disappearing in North Devon. It is a shame. I mean, I don't know what you can do to bring them back. It's a business. They've got to make money. I know if they get good food reputation, that can help. But it's really sad. We were talking the other day. They were saying it wasn't so long ago that you could give people directions by just saying from pub to pub to pub. Turn left at the White Line and go right by the Leather Bottle or whatever, just to pick two Wallingham pubs. But yeah, it is sad to see, really. I mentioned obviously the two local pubs, Sandrock. Stay tuned. Yeah, so it's quite sad to see. Now, has anyone got any other business, any other stories, any other suggestions, recommendations, big reveals, anything? Or I can say, should we go back and get a cool drink and cool down? And I'll get my subtitles finished, ready for the next release. I was thinking the other day about having another wander around Kenley. That's lovely in the evening. It was on the news actually today because I think it was the night-time temperature. They said from the weather station that's up there in the middle of the the airfield. But now they've done so much work on the old officers' mess. They've been posting stuff online. It looks amazing what they've done there. 1, 2 and 3 bed properties, I believe. And I think, the video that I did a few years ago with Linda and her team, it was just completely, no roof on it, graffiti everywhere. So they've transformed that place, which is wonderful. So I was just thinking of doing another little perimeter walk around there, maybe an evening one, try it with a new camera. It's meant to be good in low light. And just some stories maybe from there. It's such an amazing, evocative place. We've got congratulations to AFC Whiteleaf winning promotion to the Isthmian, I can never say that, Premier after beating AFC Croydon on penalties. But, I'm waiting for the but now. I do know about your idea of Upper Norwood, Graham. Yes, church in Upper Norwood. We'll get there. We will get there. Any chance I could get access to Wallingham School over the holidays? Would be great to see what it's like these days. Yeah, don't know actually. Don't know how that would work. Probably Google Earth or the Apple Maps 3D thing might be quite good to get a very rough idea. Actually, was it Hamsey Green School, which was the one next to it that I went to? They did one of those. I don't know if it was like a first-person viewer thing, almost like the drone going through the school, like you see on some of these posh videos nowadays. So that was quite interesting. I was thinking to mention it. Upper Norwood, Wallingham School, 33 tomorrow. Wow. Doesn't like to be playing at Whiteleaf next season due to ground problems. Oh, who was this? There's a sporting consortium or something that own it. Ex-pro players, and I can't remember their names. But yes, I heard about that. Kings Meadow is its name. Ah, right. Okay. All these shenanigans happening in the area. I remember going to see. Oh, that would have been before the year Ian Wright made his debut. Whiteleaf pre-season friendly against a Crystal Palace Club 11, and we had this youngster called Ian Wright on the Club 11, and he was the best player on the pitch by a country mile. Went on to obviously greater things, and he was at the ground yesterday because obviously he's got both loyalties. At the ground yesterday when Arsenal lifted the Premier League trophy. Yeah, very sad with all these different issues now with football and the financing thereof. Very much so. Didn't Palace youth team train in Whiteleaf? Used to see them walk into the station. Could well have done. Better set up nowadays. And also there used to be the Palace training at the old stables at Hamsey Green Airfield site. So, yeah. But now they're playing, because they've got a Cat 1 academy, it's a bit of a different setup now. So, I'm typing. I always get this wrong. There we go. Stay tuned for announcements and right, that's my message going on. But I'll just do a quick catch up. Hamsey Green Schools, that'd be interesting. Yeah, I mean, they've changed so much. The primary school, infant school, there was the infants, juniors, seniors when I first started, and then it was the middle school and the secondary and all sorts. Kings Meadow Estate, where the officers' mess was. Yeah, so what I thought I could do is Kings Meadow. Yeah, I got the connection now. The reason I didn't initially connect with Kings Meadow, because I get on Facebook the company that are doing the redevelopment post stuff under their name, but they obviously must mention it's Kings Meadow. Didn't register. So I'll have a walk round there, around the track, and pick out hopefully some nice summer evening scenes, and wear the bike cream, just in case. Good. Right. Well, I'm gonna end the video there, and thank you so much for your attendance. Always great. Oh, the numbers are suddenly shot up. Sorry if you just joined when I head off, but you can watch the replay. As usual, this will go live automatically. I don't edit this version because otherwise it seems to get rid of all the chat, and that's all part of the fun. So this will go live, and the audio version will go onto the usual podcasty thingies for your listening pleasure, should you so choose. So, thank you very much. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.